Song of Solomon. The Song of Solomon. And Song of Solomon is a unique book. It is a book about love and romance, attraction between a man and a woman. And it's really interesting. I was just thinking about it, that the Bible talks about, if you read Song of Solomon, if you've never read it, people would be surprised. I actually watched a video one time. I think we watched it in here where the guy was reading parts of Song of Solomon and people on the street asking them, what do you think I'm reading to you? And they didn't realize it was the Bible. So Song of Solomon is a unique book in the Bible that talks about love and romance and attraction between a man and a woman. So there's a lot of lessons in this book that we can learn from it. The Bible teaches us that all Scripture is God-breathed and is useful for correction, for rebuke, for instruction, and training in righteousness. So every bit of the Bible is good for us to read and know. And so there's some real lessons here that we can learn. No matter if you're single, no matter how old you are, there are some lessons from Song of Solomon that apply to everybody. So we'll try to hit on some of those. The first lesson would be this. We're going to read Song of Solomon 8, chapter 8, verses 6 and 7. Alright. Now this is the lady speaking to the man. Okay? And Song of Solomon is basically about reading love letters, reading love notes. Okay? And so this is what she says to him. She says, "Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is as strong as death, jealousy as cruel as the grave. Its flames are flames of fire, a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it. If a man would give for love all the wealth of his house, it would be utterly despised." When I proposed to Jennifer, I got down on my knee and I read this to her. That's not how it happened. But you could do that. Set me as a seal upon your heart. Set me as a seal upon your arm. And then what she's doing here, this is a powerful passage. This is the first lesson we can learn here. That love is a powerful emotion. Okay? And that's what is the emphasis in these verses. Love is as strong as death. Okay? Death is powerful. Death always wins. Okay? Nobody can overcome death. Well, love is that strong as well. It goes on saying, its flames are a flame of fire, a most vehement flame. And then verse 7, many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it. In other words, love is powerful. That's the lesson here. It cannot be quenched. It cannot be controlled. So, this is one lesson that you can learn from Song of Solomon now. It's a story about a young lady and a young man who fall in love. That's what it is. And she cautions. She tells the other ladies who she knows, she tells her friends, you need to be careful before you fall in love, okay? In chapter 2, verse 7, these are some great little verses here. This is what the world needs to hear, okay? This is what she says, I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field. Do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. Do not stir up or awaken love prematurely, is what she's saying. She says the same thing again in chapter 3, verse 5. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field. Do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. In other words, she understands this. You fall in love with somebody, it's going to be difficult for you to... It's a powerful thing, in other words. That's the main point. It's a powerful emotion. It's a strong attraction. And you don't need to be dating somebody when you're 11 years old, is what she's saying here. Okay? That's one lesson we can learn from this. And you know what? I don't think I'm crazy when I say this. The number one problem with teenagers, teenage problems, you can talk about a lot of things that teenagers struggle with, right? And people would talk about, well, teenagers struggle with their grades, they struggle with alcohol, drugs, they disobey their parents. All the things that we can talk about that teenagers do wrong and that teenagers do. Too much time on the phone, not too much time on their phone, you know what I'm talking about. But probably the biggest issue that young people struggle with is relationships. It's the attraction to the opposite sex that is very powerful. And it will make somebody act very weird. Okay? Chapter 2, verse 5. Listen to this. This is talking about what happens when two people fall in love, because it's a powerful thing. This is what she says to her friends. Chapter 2, verse 5. Sustain me with cakes of raisins. Refresh me with apples, for I am lovesick. See, she says, I am lovesick. I need to eat something. I am lovesick. Okay, listen to this. Chapter 3, verse 2. This is where she's, we'll use a key word here, but she's looking for her boyfriend, basically. This is what she says. I will arise now, I said, and go about the city, in the streets and the squares. I will seek the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. The watchmen who go about the city found me. I said, have you seen the one I love? She's riding around looking for her boyfriend. That's what she's doing. Okay? She can't find him. She's driving by his house. She's going by the place where he hangs out, going by his friend's house. She's obsessed with him. And that's why she's telling her friends, you don't need to get involved in this type of relationship prematurely, because love is a powerful emotion. Chapter 5, verse 2, one more illustration. This is what she says. Listen to this. I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved. He knocks, saying, go open for me, my sister, my love, my dove, my perfect one. For my head is covered with dew, my locks with drops of night. In other words, she said, I sleep, but my heart is awake. In other words, what's she saying right there? How can we paraphrase that to describe what happens when somebody falls in love? I sleep, but my heart is awake. I'm still like that with Jennifer, by the way. Yeah, I don't even get a sound sleep because I sleep, but my heart's awake. You know. Now, what it means is, let's start with this. I'm thinking about you all the time, right? I'm thinking about you all the time. What can we say about this girl? Now, you can read this whole letter yourself, and you know what you'll realize that she is? She's obsessed with this guy. She's obsessed with him. She can't stop thinking about him, right? She's riding around looking for him. She can't even sleep good because she's worried about him. So it shows us, and this is just it's a great lesson, okay? I have said that I've probably got 25 to 30 something books in my office about romance and dating. It's not because I'm trying to figure it out either, because I've got all these books because I like to read what people say and what Christian authors say. There is a need for people in the church to kind of step up the plate here and say, the Bible talks a lot about this. Song of Solomon talks a lot about relationships and dating, and it gives a lot of warnings in there about it. So, anyway, so love is a powerful emotion, and I have seriously contemplated doing this. That's why one reason I read up all these books and read them about dating and relationships, is to write a book myself about this issue entitled Don't Get Married Before the Wedding. It's about how people get too involved in relationships too quickly. So, anyway, I'm not going to go off on that because I can talk about that for a long time. But let me say this. Love can get out of control too quick, and people become obsessed with other people when they're not even married. But the good thing here that we can learn about this, love is a powerful emotion. It's actually a good thing for us to understand in the right context. What's the right context for people, for love to flourish in? Well, the right context, this is the first thing we're going to talk about. I'm thankful that God loves me. You know what the reality is? God really loves me. You know what? God's love for me cannot be quenched. God's love for me is not temporary. It's not like, well, I used to love you and I just forgot about you and I don't really care what you're doing now, and since you did something wrong. God's love for us can't be quenched. Paul wrote about this. This is good news, okay? Paul wrote about this in Romans 8. Y'all probably know these verses when I read them. What shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As is written, for your sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Yet in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. See, God's love for us is a vehement flame. It is something that cannot be quenched. Thank goodness God's love for us is powerful. It's not like I like you today, I might not like you so much tomorrow. It is an unquenchable love. How much does God love us? John 3:16, God so loved the world, He gave His Son. 1 Thessalonians 5:10 says that He died for us so that whether we are awake or asleep, we can live together with Him. In other words, God wants to be with us. God loves us passionately. God's love for us is very real, and I'm thankful that love is a powerful thing. It's not that you can just play with and love somebody today, not love them tomorrow. And it's very dangerous. That's why she cautions him, don't awaken love until it's appropriate. But God's love for us is very real, it's very strong, it's very powerful. What else is the right context for love to flourish? Well, our love for God should be that strong. Okay, I'll tell us to love God with our whole heart, with our whole mind, with all our strength. Just like we know what it is to love another person, particularly a member of the opposite sex, to be attracted to them. But I'll read you some verses in Psalms where the psalmist sounds like he's in love with the Lord. See, listen to what it says right here. This is Psalm 42. Listen to this. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? So in other words, as the deer pants for the water, the psalmist desired to be in the presence of the Lord. Listen to this. This is Psalm 63. O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you. In a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. One more verse where it's obvious that the attraction that this person has toward the Lord. How lovely is your tabernacle, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs, yes, even faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. See, that sounds like a person. It sounds like two teenagers who are like, oh, I can't wait to be with you. I think about you all the time. That's a person talking about the Lord in that context. What does that tell you? What we need to do is direct our love toward the right thing, which is toward the Lord. And this is good news. Love is a powerful emotion, and when a person begins to love the Lord, it's going to dramatically change their life. There's no doubt about it. Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. When a person truly begins, just like we would love somebody, the story of Song of Solomon, you see, this love is strong, love is passionate, a love of God is what we lack, really, honestly. What Christians lack, what people who attend church lack. We can go to church, we can not be bad people, but the issue is, do we love God with a strong love? And that's what we need in our life. Another place where love is obviously required. We're supposed to love our neighbor. We're supposed to love everybody. But husbands and wives. Husbands are commanded to husbands love your wives. Titus 2 talks about wives love your husbands. So there's supposed to be this bond that is unbreakable. Okay? Love is a powerful thing. The Bible says love never fails. So this is a good question. How would you control what you love? Can you control people? I don't know, get off too corny here, but can you control your heart? Can you say, well, I'm going to love this person, I'm not going to love that, I'm going to love the Lord more than I love this. Can you control that? Well, an interesting little verse in Proverbs, I think you can, or else the Bible talks so much about what you should love. It says, you who love the Lord hate evil. So the Bible acts like you can love or hate something by choice. But Proverbs 4:23 says this, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. You have to guard your heart. You have to protect your heart. There's a sign right now on Cartersville Church of God. It's an interesting church sign. Now, I don't know that anybody else will think much about it, but it's actually a pretty good sign. It says that your focus regulates your faith. Anybody else seen that sign? Your focus regulates your faith. Now, that's not real catchy and all. That's something I'm going to write down in the background. But what that sign means is, whatever you're focusing on, if you lack faith, you know what you do? You need to focus on the Lord. You need to read the Bible. Whatever you're thinking about, if all you do is stare at the bills that you got and look at all the problems you got, then you're not going to have much faith. Whatever you focus on is going to dictate how you feel. It's also true of love. If you think more of the Lord and you talk more of the Lord and you expose yourself to more things of the Lord, then you're going to love the Lord more. If all that we do is focus on people and other things and the world, then you're going to love the world. So we need to focus our attention on the Lord so that we'll love the Lord more and love the world less. And if we do that, it's going to directly affect the way we live our life. So love is a powerful emotion, and I think that it's good that is true. Love is not something that is a small deal. If somebody really loves somebody, the Bible says love never fails. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, love is not jealous, love is all those things. Love is a powerful thing. Love does not just mean, though, infatuation or just... Love is sacrificing for the benefit of somebody else. It's laying my life down because I genuinely care about somebody else. But love is a powerful thing that cannot be turned on and off like that. So, love is a powerful emotion. Song of Solomon teaches that. It warns about the dangers of loving prematurely, loving the wrong person. A lot of people, everybody knows Bible don't be unequally yoked. So, well, I fell in love with them. That's your fault. Because you can't let that happen. You have to guard your heart. Once you fall in love with this person who's not even a believer, who's not walking with the Lord, you got problems. You got problems. Because you can't just turn around and say, well, I'm not going to think nothing about them. No, it is a problem. So we have to teach kids, teenagers, we have to know what the Bible is talking about here. We have to try to keep people, guard your heart, guard your mind, love the Lord more, love the world less, all these things, very important. Second point from Song of Solomon, okay? This is an excellent point. And we talked about this before. We went through Song of Solomon not too long ago, by the way, if y'all remember that. But this is the second point I would make. The power of life is in your tongue. Okay, there's a verse in Proverbs 18:21 that says the power of death and life is in the tongue. We talked about that on Wednesday night, actually. So with your tongue, you can criticize somebody and help destroy their life by your words. Or you can use your tongue to build somebody up and to speak positive encouragement into somebody's life. You can make a difference. I remember I talked about Tyler and my teeth. I'll never forget that. Tyler thinks my teeth are straight, so he encouraged me with that. Okay, so but listen, one of the main lessons in Song of Solomon is the way these two lovers speak to each other. Does anybody know how they talk to each other? Anybody want to try to explain it? Anybody, I know y'all have read this book or know something about it. How do they speak to each other? Anybody want to help me out? Anybody have any ideas? They speak to each other with the kindest, most gracious, sweetest, dripping honey off their lips. They have only good to say. There's no criticism whatsoever. They never point out a single... I'll give you some examples. Y'all can read this book. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it's all through here. I don't want to read it all, so I'm trying to just explain it. Chapter 1, verse 9. This is him talking to her. He says, I have compared you, my love, to my filly among Pharaoh's chariots. You're the filly among Pharaoh's chariots. Okay, this is weird stuff they say. Chapter 1, verse 15. This is what he says, behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes. Chapter 2, verse 2. This is what he says. Like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. You are a lily among the thorns. Okay? You are the best. There is, okay, I'll read you some more. You can use some of this stuff. I'll use some of this. Okay? Chapter 4, now listen to what he says. Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats going down from Mount Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn sheep which have come up from the washing, every one of which bears twins, and none is barren among them. Your lips are like a strand of scarlet, and your mouth is lovely. Your temples behind your veil are like a piece of pomegranate. Your neck is like the Tower of David built for an armory, on which 1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men. And he goes on, okay? He talks about her like she is the most beautiful thing who has ever been on the face of the earth. She does the same to him. I'll give you all an example of what she says to him. And Jennifer says some of this to me. So this chapter 5, verse 10. Okay, this is her chance to talk to him. She says, my beloved is white and ruddy. Okay, now white would be true. I don't know what about the ruddy. Okay, listen to what she says. This is, my beloved is white and ruddy, chief among 10,000. His head is like the finest gold. His locks are wavy and black as a raven. His eyes are like, I used to have hair like that. His eyes are like, she used to say this too. Her eyes are like doves by the rivers of waters, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are like a bed of spices, banks of scented herbs. His lips are lilies, dripping liquid myrrh. His hands are rods of gold set with beryl. His body is carved ivory inlaid with sapphires. His legs are pillars of marble set on bases of fine gold. His countenance is like Lebanon, excellent as the cedars. His mouth is most sweet. Yes, he is altogether lovely. This is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem. Okay? Okay, it is true. Look, this is a great lesson to learn right here. They are very complimentary of each other. And it is true that often husbands and wives are not like that. Never are husbands and wives like that, I would say. But the power of life and death is in the tongue, and this does not just pertain to romantic relationships. Paul wrote this in Ephesians 4:29. He said, "Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers." In other words, if you don't have something good to say, you don't say anything at all. And who does that apply to? Well, it should apply to husbands and wives. It should apply to every relationship, really. It doesn't matter. A school teacher can encourage a kid. A coach can encourage a kid. A preacher or a teacher or somebody at church can encourage somebody else. I'll tell you who else can encourage your kids: a parent. You need to be positive to people. You need to encourage them and impart grace to them and be very kind to people and not be... We are much more likely to do what? Instead of pointing out the good, what do we point out in people? The bad. We're going to find something and say something. And if I see somebody else did wrong, we're going to talk about it. If my wife does something wrong, I guarantee you I'm going to talk about it. She's going to hear about it. And if I do something wrong, I guarantee you I'm going to hear about it most of the time. And too often, who are we the hardest on? Your spouse. I'll tell y'all a little story. A man was dying. He had been given less than a week to live. A hospice had been called in. He's laid up in the bed. He's hooked up to all kinds of machines. And he smells in the kitchen some brownies. His wife always made him brownies. And so he thinks, those brownies actually smell good. This man unhooks himself, rolls out of the bed, crawls down the hall. He is on the verge of death. And he crawls into the kitchen and he sees the brownies on top of the table. And he reaches his hand up there to grab a brownie. And his wife says, "Ralph, do not touch those. They're for after the funeral." That's pretty harsh, right? But you can imagine a spouse saying that, right? Do not. Even the man's dying. He wants a brownie, but she doesn't want it to happen. She's going to give him somebody else, right? And the book of Song of Solomon is a reminder that even they get married in chapter 4, okay? Let's see, in chapter 3, yeah, at the end of chapter 3, they get married. Even after that, they still speak kind words to each other. And really, this is the thing. And we all need to know this and realize this. The Bible says, we talk about this verse mentioned in Proverbs 14:1, a wise woman builds up her house, but a foolish one tears it down. All right? It's going to be better for you to be nice to your spouse. I will say that again. It's going to be better for you. Y'all see what I'm saying here? It's not going to be good for you to try to argue all the time. You taking notes? This is great for Lee Kate. It's going to be better for you. What is Song of Solomon about? What is it about? Romance. It's a good relationship. Things are working good here. Why is it working good? Not because he's pointing out something she's doing wrong, because he is just talking about all the positives. You know what? I've got 2 weddings to do Saturday. I've been doing counseling with 2 different couples. And one verse I try to always bring up is Proverbs 19:11. It says it's to the glory of a man to overlook an offense. I mean, somebody offends you, you know what you need to do? Let it go. Don't bring it up. Don't point it out. Don't harp on it. Don't try to make sure that it doesn't happen again, because guess what? It's going to happen again. You're never going to get anywhere arguing anyway. All you're going to do is cause, Paul says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stir up anger. If you're stirring up something that ain't going to be good. If you would just use a soft answer, and you'd be nice, and you'd be sweet, and you'd be kind, it would be better for you. And this book illustrates how a relationship is supposed to work. You didn't get married to point out everything. That's one thing I've been telling these two couples. Look, you're marrying this person. You chose to marry them. You're not marrying them to try to straighten everything up in their life. You're not marrying them to try to point out every flaw they've got. That's not what you're doing. You're marrying them to help them, to encourage them, to be a blessing in their life. You're not going to point out every single flaw and argue about every single thing that ever goes wrong. That's not your job. And so this book, the whole Bible speaks directly to all the issues in our life, but this book particularly shows what a marriage is supposed to look like. You want to think about that? The power of life being in the tongue. All right, one last point. So love is a powerful emotion. Is the first point. And it is so true in Revelation chapter 2, the Lord wrote to the church in Ephesus, and this is what he said, "You've forsaken your first love." In other words, you're not loving the Lord like you used to. And if you want to have revival in your life, what you need to do is love the Lord again. Love the Lord like you used to. That's what is the heart of Christianity. That's what makes us say, "Oh, I'm not doing good. I'm just down in the dumps." You're probably not loving the Lord like you should be. So love is the powerful emotion. The power of life is in our tongue. That is such a great verse. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. We talked about it Wednesday night because we talked about the whole book of Proverbs. But to say this, and you think about this, how significant it is. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. What you say to somebody or don't say to that person will make a difference in their life. Bottom line. It doesn't even have to be a spouse, doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It's just trying to encourage somebody, trying to speak something positive to them, to give them hope, to build them up, to point out the good things. Because you know what? Everybody has flaws, but everybody has a few good traits also. Most people do, especially if they're Christians. We might be bad at some things, there might be some things you can point out. But most people, if they're living for the Lord, are doing some things that are good. Barnabas in Acts 4 was called the son of encouragement. He encouraged people. He was positive. He pointed out the good things, not the bad. You can do that about your church, by the way. You can either point out the bad things or you can talk about the good things, right? Anybody in the world can go to any church and find something they're not doing right. Don't like that music, don't like that preacher, doesn't like that, the way they pray, the way they take up the offering, whatever you want to find. I guarantee you can find something you don't like one bit. But you can either do that or you can find the good things that they're doing and talk about that and encourage people along the way in life. Very important thing. The last point is this. There are going to be problems in relationships. Alright, now this is just bottom line. Even this couple had problems. What were their problems? Well, chapter 5, this is kind of tricky to interpret this, but I think I understand it, and I've read some different commentaries on this book in the past. But this is the lady talking, and this is what she talks about has happened. I already read the verse. She says, "I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved. He knocks, saying, 'Open for me, my sister, my love, my dove, my perfect one. For my head is covered with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night.'" So she's in the bed, and he's knocking, saying, "Open the door for me." Baby, that's what he's saying. "Open the door for me. I'm wet out here. It's raining outside." All right? This applies because Jennifer, this happens all the time in our house. Jennifer locks the door on the inside to keep Gentry in. So I have to sit out there and ring the doorbell like 100 times. When I get mad, like 1,000 times in a row, she has to come open the door. And I'm like, "Oh, you can't." She'll go take a shower, and the door's locked. I can't even get in the house. So that's what's going on here. He's sitting out there saying, "Open the door." And listen what happens, verse 3. This is what she says. "I have taken off my robe. How can I put it on again? I have washed my feet. How can I defile them?" She's saying, I'm in the bed with my pajamas on. I'm not getting up right now. You think I'm going to get up and let you in? She's already in the bed, so he's not come home on time. This is actually what's happening here. She's mad because he didn't come home, and she's not wanting to get up and open the door, and he's wanting her to open the door right now. Everybody knows you have these kind of moments where you're not, come on, you're blowing the horn, honking the horn. Come on, what are you wrong with you? All this kind of stuff. So verse 4, my beloved put his hand by the latch of the door, and my heart yearned for him. So she wanted to open the door, but at the same time she wanted to argue. Right? Sometimes you like to argue with each other. And then she says, I arose to open for my beloved, and my hands dripped with myrrh, my fingers with liquid myrrh on the handles of the lock. I opened for my beloved, but my beloved had turned away and was gone. He then got mad and left. My heart leaped up when he spoke. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. The watchmen who went about the city found me. They struck me. They wounded me. The keepers of the walls took my veil away from me. Then she says, I charge you, daughters of Jerusalem, if you find my beloved, tell him that I am lovesick. If you see him, tell him I love him. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I'm sorry. I'll tell him, when you see him, I can't find him. I don't know where he went. He was there. I didn't open the door when I should have. And we got this argument. This. They have problems. Any relationship's got problems. I'll tell you something else. So, what do we do when we have problems? There's just some rules we've got to do. This is any relationship, especially marriage. You have got to avoid unnecessary fights. That's why I said overlook an offense. But you've got to forgive each other and be reconciled. The Bible says, don't let the sun go down in your anger. Don't let the sun go down in your wrath. Be kind and compassionate. Let forgiving one another just as God in Christ forgave you. You have to forgive. You have to be reconciled. You have to kiss and make up. That is what life is about. I was involved in a situation this week where somebody that works somewhere is not getting along, and I was involved in it. This person can't stand this person. They don't talk to each other while they're at work. And it's a Christian ministry. I said, this is ridiculous, really. They got to kiss and make up. That's the words I use. They got to kiss and make up. You can't be mad at somebody. You can't not talk to somebody. You got to kiss and make up. And that's what they eventually do. I'll show you another thing, though. That they argue about. Just listen to this. This is her brothers talking. Okay? So her brother is going to get involved. That's one of the things in marriage. It's not just two people. It's two people and both their entire families coming together. Okay? You don't marry one person. You marry the entire family. Okay? And listen to what this says, chapter 8, verse 8. It's her brothers talking. Listen to what they say. We have a little sister, and she has no breasts. What shall we do for our sister in the day when she is spoken for? So they're saying, we got one more younger sister, and she's really young. She's a little kid. What are we going to do when somebody tries to marry her? And that's what they say in verse 10, or verse 9. If she is a wall, we will build upon her, a battlement of silver. And if she is a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. That's what they're saying. If she's a wall, we will build upon her a battlement of silver. And if she is a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. What they're saying is we're not going to let anybody else marry our next sister. Nobody's going to marry her. If she's a door, we're going to board her up. Nobody's going to get close to her. Okay? Sounds like the dads, but this is their brothers talking. And that's what they say. If she's a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. Nobody's going to get close to her. Well, that's going to cause some problems down the road. And you're always going to have problems. Somebody's not going to like you. Somebody's not going to think you should be getting married. Somebody's not going to think you should have married that person. In-law problems. You've got problems in life. But what you have to do, the Bible is full of this. Full of it. You have got to, as much as it is possible, live at peace with all people. Be kind, compassionate, forgiving, overlooking offenses. To say that's an important lesson to learn in life would be probably the biggest understatement ever. Because you know what? Most of the time, sometimes we get mad at God, maybe. Most of the time when we get mad or we're in a bad mood or we're not happy with something, it's because something somebody else did. And we don't like that person. Very rarely somebody just say, I am ticked off at God today, I don't want to hear it. No, we're ticked off at somebody. We're not happy with somebody. We're not getting along with somebody. And the reality is, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your in-laws, whether it's your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, you've got to learn. We have to learn to put the teachings of Jesus into practice. To turn the other cheek, to be humble, to be generous, to be gracious toward other people. And it's a big deal. And even this couple, as sweet as they were, they had a few problems. They had a few arguments. And no matter how sweet somebody is, no matter how much they think they're not going to have a bump in the road, They're going to have a bunch of bumps in the road. You're going to have bumps in the road. It doesn't matter where you work, where you go to church. I heard somebody say this. This is so true. I don't remember how they said it. They said it better than I'm about to say it. They said, if you want to get your feelings hurt, join a small Baptist church. You get your feelings hurt. Somebody's going to say something you ain't going to like. Somebody's going to do something you ain't going to like. That's just the reality of it. That's life. It doesn't matter if it's at work, if it's at home. Everybody's going to be critical because that's the way people are. Our hearts are inclined to sin. We don't always, you're going to have problems in life. You've got to learn. And the only reason that somebody would do that is because they love the Lord and they want to do what the Lord wants them to do. So we treat other people like the Lord tells us to treat other people because we are followers of Jesus. He is our shepherd, He is our king, He is our master, and we do what He tells us to do whether we feel like it or not. That's what you have to do. You have to tell people, I'm sorry. You have to say, I shouldn't have done that. You have to repent. And Jesus said, if your brother comes to you 7 times in a day saying, I repent, what should you do? Forgive him 7 times in a day. You say, I don't want to do that. I want to be mad. I don't want to ever talk to him again. That's not what you do if you're a Christian. You forgive him. You restore, you reconcile, you kiss and you make up, and you move on and you show people grace just like God shows us grace. We should be the kindest, most generous, most gracious people on the face of the earth, and a lot of times we're not. The Song of Solomon shows us that. It's what's going to be required. If this couple had problems, I guarantee you we're all going to have problems. Nobody's exempt. And you know what? I'll close this little quote. I love this little quote. It's an old quote from Charles Swindoll, Chuck Swindoll, and I used to have it hanging on my bedroom wall, but it's longer than this, but this is the gist of it. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. In other words, you're never living in a vacuum. It's never just like, I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. No, what's going to dictate whether or not I have a good day? How I respond to whatever happens to me, right? I'm not just going to have a day where it's just nothing going on. People are going to be calling me, somebody's going to be saying this, kids are going to be doing this. And what's going to dictate how I live my life is how I respond to whatever happens to me. That's what happens in marriage. It's not just you just talking to your spouse. Things happen. You have to react and respond in a biblical way if you're going to be a good Christian. You have to learn to not react in a wrong way. That's where sin comes from. When something happens we don't like, and we get angry, and we get bitter, and we say critical things, we say mean things, we have just sin in our heart because of what happens in our life. What other people do or say that ticks us off. So you have to learn to respond appropriately. Anybody want to say anything about the book of Song of Solomon? Hopefully you'll read it again if you have never. Anybody at all? I hope that you love the Lord. I hope you love your neighbor. Love is a powerful thing. Tony Evans used to say this, and this is true. He was always talking about sex when he talked about it. But he would talk about a fire in a fireplace. A fire in a fireplace ain't no problem. A fire outside the fireplace is a big problem. Well, love in the right context is a powerful thing. It's great that God loves us. I love the Lord. I love my spouse. I love my kids. I love my neighbors. But love that is premature, and I'm not the expert on that issue, but I know this person in the Bible warned about it. You don't want to awaken or stir that up until it's the right time, because otherwise you're going to get yourself in a big mess. And that's what the world deals with. That's what teenagers deal with. That's what's going on. Probably the root of the problems. The biggest problem is not drugs or alcohol for teenagers, it's relationships. It's attraction that makes them obsessed. And in a lot of ways, it can mess up their whole life because they're pursuing someone who's not even a good candidate to marry at all. So, hopefully you can take something away from that. If nothing else, be nice to your spouse, to your friends, to your neighbors. Say something nice, or don't say anything at all. All right. This week we're going to go visiting tomorrow night at 6:30. We're going to start back on visitation on Monday night. So tomorrow night at 6:30 we will have visitation if anybody can be here. Anything else somebody wants to say tonight? Needs to say? All right. Well, we'll stand up together then.